Good morning, guys. So in this video you and I are going to talk a little bit about the top 3 things you need to learn after you have learned a programming language. Regardless of which programming language you have learned, you need to learn these 3 things. So let's get into it. First and foremost, once you know how to program, and now I'm presuming that you've taken an introductory course to something like Java or Node or PHP or Python or anything like that. So you know like what you can actually build with code, or rather you can actually code in some fashion. So the first and foremost thing you need to learn is to learn how to basically put up a web server. That's the first thing you need to learn. You need to understand how routing works. You need to understand how web pages work, how links work, and how you maneuver on the internet. That's the absolute most important thing to learn, because without that you don't have the skills to actually put up anything on the web. You don't have the skills to create APIs or sending data back, because this is the way that the web works. So you need to have a good understanding of the fundamentals of how a web server works and how you basically have a server running. So that's number 1. Learn that first and foremost. It is going to be absolutely critical. The second thing that you need to learn once you have that down is that you need to learn HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it is the way that web pages work. Basically, when you visit facebook.com or google.com or whatever web page you visit, what happens is that you use your computer to connect to a server, which is why you wanted to do that in step 1, to understand what a server is and how web servers work. And that server is going to put together a HTML file, and that file is what you're seeing in front of you. There's a lot of other stuff going on there, but that's the basics of how it works. The file, all the things that you're seeing in front of you when you visit a web page is part of HTML, or that specification. So it's very important that you know that. And finally, what you need to learn after that is probably something that you're going to, I hope this is probably going to be fairly obvious, because if you ever seen a web page without any colors or styling, it looks butt ugly. And that means that I would suggest that the third thing you learn is CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it is the thing that allows you to style, basically put colors and fonts and all that stuff that makes a web page beautiful onto the screen. So because a markup, HTML and CSS are kind of they're siblings in a way. The one doesn't go very well with the other. It's peanut butter and jelly. You need both in order to make a nice web experience. So once you have the ability to do, as I've heard, first step is to learn routing web servers, because without a server the file can't come to your basically you can't send the file to the browser. So that's number 1. Number 2 is learn HTML, so you know what's actually going to be sent to the browser. And number 3, learn CSS, and then you can actually style the thing that you're sending to your users. So these are my absolute top 3 things to learn once you know how to program. And with these things you will be able to put up a basic website. Now I'm going to be honest with you, once you have these 3 down, you will have the skills to put up a very basic web page of some sort, which is going to most likely, if you are just starting out, be enough for you to understand the basic building blocks. And trust me, these are I use this all the time. All my colleagues, everybody in the IT industry, knows these things by heart. Well, by heart is a strong word, but you know them very well, because they're your bread and butter. They are the fundamentals. And you will very quickly realize that even with these skills you can take things to a certain degree, but after that comes things such as learning JavaScript and learning databases and stuff of that nature. But that's for later. So start with these 3 things. They will take you the furthest and the closest to being a professional. But I do tell you that once you have these 3 things down, make sure that you look into JavaScript and databases, because they become, I would put them at top, 4 and 5. So first thing is web servers, second thing is HTML, third thing is CSS, and then fourth, if kind of breaking my title here, but number 4 is JavaScript, number 5 is databases. Hopefully this was useful to you. Have a great day.